And we're live one more
Tell
time.
them about that.
Yes, I will. That's exactly what we're going to talk about. What's up, everybody? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. That's Milia. She likes to be called Skyla. We are here for another episode of What the Fuck? Check. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, star seed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger of God, first child of God, the Lilith reincarnated, here on another one. Shout out to all the new people. Welcome, welcome. In order to keep up with me, you would have seen my latest short, what I posted on my community page, and my last live video. You know, I got so many downloads when I was sitting downstairs. There's so much to talk about. I'm just going to rattle off right here. First off, let me start with I'm so glad that I organized everything. Everything, bro. I work with a lot of stuff. Let me show you, bro. I have OCD. And, like, here's what I call Pandora's box. And I can see all that. I know where everything is now, right? And my cards, I have a lot of them. So I'm just, like, feeling really good about some shit. I was doing that at, like, fucking 3 o'clock in the morning like a total geeker the other day. You have to catch that video. It was the full moon. Those things really fuck me up. So what happens? They fill me up with energy, and we spend the next 15 days till the new moon, or till, the dark moon, emptying out all this information. Then we get new inspiration and start a new fucking cycle of new moon cycle, as they call it. Welcome. I am the goddess of the moon. I teach you how that works. So, first things first. The first download I got is you'd have to go back. No, let's start here. There's people that have been with me from the beginning that have traveled from platform to platform, and I don't know who they are. And then there's the twin flames. I know who they are. And then there's some of them that I'm reminded, some of the celebrities that I'm reminded that I brought in way in the beginning. But normally, no, I don't look at the crowd. I don't know what's going on in the crowd. The crowd's getting bigger and bigger. But anyways, with that being said, it's like there's people that know what we've been talking about because we've been talking about it for years. And there is literally thousands of people that just showed up that have no idea what the fuck we are talking about. Neither did you. Neither did I. I didn't know anything about spirituality. I had to learn every piece of it by myself to become the master that I am at it, and now I teach everyone. And I want to show you how important that is because the information that I teach you, those that have been with me for a long time, it's a replay to you, but each time we teach it is so that it sticks in. Now, this is what was really interesting. I pulled out the cards last night by free will. I wanted answers, and I had a choice to use the cards I like, which are my comfort cards that I've had since the beginning, my tarot, the Cosmic Seed, or the new ones that I'm being challenged to use with Metatron to learn his new, this new language. And I made a choice to use those cards, right? I pulled out those cards, and we got Cassiopeia, and it was the Queen of Swords. And I went into this because I know the Queen of Swords. But now we know, this is what I'm trying to teach you is this language. We pulled it out. We pulled out the Knight of Cups multiple times. We know that freaking Einstein is on certain ones. So what this means is we start to understand if you only spoke tarot, you learn to use that language in other cultures. We're cross cultures, right? So right now we're learning how the tarot works in the stars. So we know that what I'm trying to teach you is when we look up in the stars and we see those constellations, which none of us remember. We learned them when we were children, did we not? Go into planetariums and cool shit like that? Maybe they don't do that anymore, but we did. They taught us this long forgotten information that sits in our head. They taught us that. So when we look up at the stars, we can know that the Queen of Swords energy is, we can look up and know that, just like we can look up and see Venus, we know that love is being poured upon us. When we see Jupiter, we know this is a very expansive time in our lives. You know what I mean? When we see these planets, and there is a planetary parade that happens this month, because they all come back from retrograde. They're all like, hey, what's up? we'll be gone till, you know, whatever. And here they all come back to party hard with us, and they bring all of these gifts and spiritual, you know, pushes and all this stuff. Now, what's interesting is repetition. We've only read a few of those cards for a few weeks, but my knowledge of how I learn tarot, because each time I'm learning tarot more and more with new cards, we're using that language in other cultures with new sets of cards, right? Is what I'm teaching you. So as well as I'm using the tarot, the cosmic tarot, or the, hold on a second. Where are they? We're using right now, and I've had these for over, ask the guys, I've had these for over a year. We're just learning them, and that's like you see me buy all these books, we won't touch them until we've actually learned them and we can understand them when we open the pages, when we fully experience it. So we're learning these ones currently, but laterally, oh God, I can hear Steve's tarot coming out of my mouth. Where's those ones? The newest ones I just got that Morgan had, where are they? Oh, I said I was going to put them with the dark cards. That's right. So they're right here. And again, I have quite a bit of organization going on. Thank you very much. Where did I put them? Right here. So we got these new, nope, those are my Liliths. Those are my Bibles. Hold on. We got these new shadow tarots. So we're looking in the tarot as shadows. And that's what it is in this tree, those were tarot cards. And that's in Dark Teachings. We're learning how tarot it was not, first off, it was not evil in any way, but that it was, I cannot find this. This is a funny joke, isn't it? It must be already up here, and I'm not paying attention. Give me a second. So I have my Notoria Tarot. I have my Cosmic Seed Tarot. We haven't even made it through all of the Notoria, because that's all Jewish mysticism they're throwing at us. Okay. Somehow I have misplaced those. Really? I mean, it would appear so. I don't want to dig too hard because we don't want to pull out the shadows right now anyways, while we're kind of so in the light. But we're learning them in different, you know, paths. We're learning, you know what I mean? We're still, say that we're still learning science, but we're learning a new book. Every year we pull out a new book of science. We'll say that. I have no idea where they went, guys. I know I put them in a brand new bag, but right now I have my 10-day forecast right here. I didn't show you guys those ones. Those were the only 3 tarot I didn't pull out. They're somewhere around here. But as we're learning this, we started to remember. So then I was really mystified by this morning. I caught that the Queen of Swords came out again after I shuffled. It was still Cassiopeia, meaning this we were still in the energy, but the reason we were is because if you look at my latest post, and I'm going to use that post here as the thumbnail, it was Cassiopeia, and then the Knight of Cups was Perseus. And we got, what was it last night, on August 12th through the 13th, the Perseids shower, and it came out in my cards. I'm trying to teach you, he's talking to us, right? Who? Obviously Metatron and Melchizedek, because they are the, you know, they're the workers of the universe, right? He's the language and he's the planets and all of that. They work together. Those are those 2 cards up there. Catch last night's reading. They're trying to speak to us, but they're speaking to us in our language, but they're making us learn theirs. Do you understand? I do. And so here's the second cool download I got. Is like, as I'm going to say this, you're going to need to go back and catch my video just a couple weeks ago. I said, you guys are going to force me to interact with other beings from other planets. And the day after I said that night, I was drawn to a new star constellation. It was 3 stars. Diana and I were outside. So I'm thinking to myself, nobody's going to remember. And it's like, no, people have been with you. That was another download. Many of you have made an awesome connection with me. You really enjoy me. You spend an hour with me a day. You don't spend an hour of your day with probably anybody. But a lot of you have spent, and those, you know, not just my twin flames, but those on, you know, Soul Tribe and everybody else, you guys spend hours of your time with me. I would venture to say that you like me. And that's really cool. And I appreciate you. Those of you that are investing so much of your time getting to know me and what I do and what the universe does with me. You're very invested in my life. It's not a reality show, but it is. It's reality, the fifth, other dimensional realities being projected into this one for you. But there was this moment of aha, where I realized it's like I'm about to tell a bunch of new people to go back, but there's a bunch of you that have always been keeping up since the beginning. So when I say go back to that video, you'll remember in your memory, I already watched that video. She's right. She was drawn to the stars last week, right? So then the same stars constellations are the ones that were in the sky that called me. I had to look at the stars again to realize those, I didn't see all of them because there was too many city lights. Please, Nana, stop. What is she doing? I don't know, scratching or some shit. Making a lot of noise, as you can hear. But that's what it was. I couldn't see all of them. And it was literally the star system of Cassiopeia that was pulling me in to look up. And I didn't know it. And that's it. It's like we don't know the language. We don't know all the light codes. We don't know the deities. We don't know the names of time, of God that are speaking to us. Let me say that again. The names of God that are speaking to us. Say it again. The names of God that are speaking to us. God has spoke through so many people to us, and I am your messenger of God. But my messages come from, and that's what I'm trying to say, is where do they all come from? I'm trying to show you the universal language. The language of the universe, which is what they call light codes, and how the universe speaks with us. Right? So that's what it is you don't see it till after it's happened. So I look back and I'm like, damn. It was in the cards, it was this, it was that. And you think I'm the magic, but I don't create it. I'm here co-creating in that sense, where I see what's happening and I move through that. So, all of that being said, catch up with me. Today, I did a video, and I had said in that video that I wanted to feed my inner child, and I wanted to get out and maybe go to the lake. When I left that video, I was sitting outside. Tasha came up and invited me to go to the pool. I was like, that's exactly what I said. She's like, well, we're going to go in probably like 30 minutes. I was like, I'm going to go put on a bathing suit. Spirit was kind of being funny about it. Instead of going to the pool with her, it was like, because then I started thinking, and that's the brain. It's like, well, you're going to be in her car, and you don't know her friends, and what if they don't want to leave, and what if you get stuck there? What if they drink? You don't know what's going on. And that's just, the mother and father asking questions. Who are you going with? With what friends? What are you about to do? So then I sat there for a minute, and I was like, Morgan, where are you at? And she's like, I'm about to go outside. So I talked to her. I was like, look, I'm going swimming. Tasha invited me to go swimming. If nothing else, I might go swimming with Tasha, but I already said in my video, I wanted to go to the lake. Do you want to go to the lake? So we go to the lake, and it was great. Her daughter had a blasty blast. We just sat there. There was pretty much nobody but us, a couple of families and shit. I burnt sage. My daughter went exploring. She found all kinds of fucking awesome shit. Do you see that claw right there? It's funny. I shared it with this. No, you can't see it. It's there. It's at the altar. She found the claw. And now after looking at it, I'm not sure. First off, it was blue. So I'm like, what is that? That's not totally crabby red. But anyways, I posted some information on my community page of what the crab totem meant. And I was like, damn, this is totally us right now. Right? So then she went looking further. I've seen them fly by, but I've never been in close contact with a bat. She found a dead bat, and she brought it to me. She's like, let's take it. I was like, Million, I'm a witch, but I'm not that kind of witch. This is an actual body. The stuff we have is dead body parts that have already been, that thing will rot and smell, and that's like keeping a head in a bottle. I don't even know how to keep it alive. We both felt like we wanted to take the wings, but none of us wanted to rip the wings off this shit. And so we just kind of, it was yeah, fully intact and shit. And I was like, wow. So I took a picture of it and I posted it. Okay? So then we had the crab, and then I posted the information of what the bat represented. When I got back, Tasha was right there and JJ was there. They said they went to the water, or that the pool they went to go to was actually closed. And so they ended up going to the splash pads, and it sucked. I told her that I went to Cherry Creek, and she was like, dude, and she asked me all about it. I was like, yeah, just go down the back way. And for those of you that don't know, the back way is through Yosemite to Union, and you can go that's where the dam is, so you can go through that back way, and it's a beautiful drive. Anyway, she's like, well, we're going to go tomorrow. And so she inspired me, but what happened is I inspired something better, is the point of it. So we were sitting there and we saw all those animals. When I got back, JJ walked up to me. He had found a gardener snake. And I swear to you, it was no bigger than my hand. It was such a baby. And the way that he was holding it, I was like, I want to hold it. And I picked it up. I tried to take a picture, but it didn't come out good. And so I had a baby snake in my hand. So we had all these spirit animals. And so, not coincidentally, inside of here where I keep my sacred geometry are my sacred animal spirits. So I want to pull out those 3 cards, which would be the snake, the crab, and the bat. And that's what it says, is the bat symbolized to pay attention to signs and synchronicities. And that's what I do. So I sat there before the snake, and I told her about that afterwards. Before that, I was like, all right, let me sit still and put together all these pieces. And that's what I told her. I was like, look, we're in the 10-day forecast of the Egyptians. We have 3 days of blessings before the end of this 10 days, before the 18th. God made me a promise. The kids are supposed to start school, at least Amelia. It was all based on Amelia and her needs is where I had this agreement. I don't really ask God for shit, but my daughter she very much told me from her heart. She's like, I just want to go to school and make some friends. So that's all I ask God for, is that for her to have that opportunity in her life. So he made me a promise at the beginning of the year that for the next school year, you will be stable and we will not move them around. She will get what she wants, right? She's supposed to start on the 18th, the 818 portal. We have 5 more days before God can switch completely everything, or we accept what could be a promise or a threat, depending on the mindset. The threat is, you're going to have to stay here for fucking 10 more months. If I'm not happy and grateful for my situation, then that could be hell. And I could sabotage that and not see it for the blessing that it is, that I don't have to worry about Christmas. I don't have to worry about Thanksgiving. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to be. I know that God's promise is covered over me, and we don't move until the end of the school year. Right? There's that. But he works miracles. So in the next 5 days, he could do that somewhere else, where he puts us completely somewhere else, and now this is where we are for the next 10 months. And that's what I told Morgan. I was like, brace yourself, bro. Brace yourself. No. Brace yourself. Anything can happen right now. And I was like, all of us are in the dark. We don't know what's happening, and we just want out. And we can't see it yet. And it's darkest before the light. We can't see what's behind the door. But whatever it is, we have to be grateful for it. And that's what I told her. I made her listen to my video. She never listens to my video. I was like, look, I know we want out. But we're in a place, we're not homeless anymore. We can do better things here, with our time, if this is where God wants us to spend our time, instead of trying to spend all our time trying to get out of here. And it's kind of like a jailhouse thing, You look at it as like how you spend your time. Are you counting the days till you can get out, trying to find ways, or are you just using your time wisely, getting your body and your mind and your spirit right for when you do get out? And that's what came up in the back card. So I turned it on. The top of the card is eagle, authority. Then we have hawk, which is sight. Let me see if I can find what we're really looking for here. The wolf. Blackbird. All right, we have the snake, which is desire. Lovely. We have the crab, which is defend. Did I pass it? Nope. And a bat. You need to adapt. These are messages from the universe, and I told you how I got them. The animals literally came up to me. I literally had my hands on each of those animals. That's not something that happens with a city girl, but welcome to Colorado. In the essence is that's the truth. That's how you're like, how do you get your messages? Everything is a message, bro, from the universe. You have to understand it. Those stars are sending you, Everything's sending you. God is talking to you through all things. He's part of all things. For those that want to get these, again, this is another thing that I got years ago. Animal Companion. Yep, I got those summer of 23 when I was staying at Chris's house. Really? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's start. They go in alphabetical order, so let's start. Donkey. There you go. Let's see. So the second card is the bat. Keywords: adapt, change, flight, darkness, cycles, magic. In folklore, bats are associated with death, sickness, magic, and witches. And that's it too. Both me and Amelia knew we needed its wings, but we weren't going to rip them off of it. It was weird. If it was dry, maybe. It was wet. And Morgan told us, she's like, she had said she had caught one before, and it was real squishy. I was like, bro, that's exactly what my daughter keeps saying. It's real squishy. And she's like, yeah, they're real squishy in real life, too. It just, I don't know. I felt the desire to rip its fucking wings off and take it like Ozzy Osbourne. I wasn't going to put that thing in my mouth, but I felt the urge to take its wings. I just couldn't do it, dude. I was like, I was too girly for it. I couldn't, even with, I can't, dude, the snapping and stuff. It's part of the code, bro. Like, I can't do fucking blood and guts anymore from the Cali, bro. Like, oh, please don't make me rip their arms off. I'm so serious. I'll rip their head off. Jesus, I'll rip your heart out. That's where all that comes from. Mischievous fairy spirits called Poka, sometimes spelled Puka, often chose to become bats. Puka also take the form of black horses, black goats, and black birds. Though public opinion is changing, bats have historically been misunderstood, ill-treated, and considered fearsome emissaries of light. Hey, have you guys seen Ace Ventura, Pet Detective #2? It's really funny. You should go watch that. It has to do with a bat. In which of European lore, the bat was thought to be a hybrid animal that was part rat and part bird. This apparent duplicity in appearance made them a symbol of hypocrisy and dishonesty. Slavic vampires, and we pulled the vampire card over the weekend. Legends, almost variable, involve transmorgiv. That's, what the fuck is this word, Marshall? Let me see. Okay, go ahead. You want to read that? Transmogrification. Okay, fine. I sounded it out. Morgrification. There's a lot of words in that. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Ah, that's a good one. I could totally rhyme with you. Not right now. We're working. A vampire into a bat. The archetype has carried over into popular culture. Another incorrect but widely held belief is that bats feed on livestock. They eat fruit and bugs. While there are vampire bats native to Central and South America, the chupacabra, the vast majority of bats feed only on insects and fruit. Told you. Other misunderstanding is that the belief that bats develop sonar to compensate for poor eyesight. In fact, there is nothing wrong with a bat's eyesight. It's more likely that they've become nocturnal to take advantage of the insects that emerge at night to reduce feeding competition with the birds. And that makes sense. We need a bat. We need a bat for that night so it can eat all these bugs. And that's what I tell the kids too. Don't kill the spiders. They eat the bugs. Really? If we could get a lizard in here, that'd be great. They eat all the bugs, dude. Seriously? Yeah, dude. The fuck are you? Otherwise, you're over there just slapping around bugs. You just need a pet lizard to fucking come eat these motherfuckers.
Or frog.
Or, a fucking... Anyways. Bats develop sonar to enable better hunting and night flying. In a reading, bats are incredible creatures who have adapted in order to thrive. Drawing inspiration from the bat when you find yourself in what seems to be like a dead end. That's what I told you. I was like, dude, we're like literally in a dead end right here. Or when you feel like you are out of options. Opportunity abounds. Sometimes we just have to shift our perspective in order to find the way forward. In the daylight hours, bats would have significant competition for food, but they're able to prosper by embracing the night and adapt their hunting techniques. As I'm dropping this video all late. Historically misunderstood and vilified. I don't know if I should say that. Okay. What? Oh, okay. These wonderful animals are blessings to humans. They eat mosquitoes, midge, flying flies, and a number of things that plague us. If you feel misunderstood by those around you, look to the spirit of the bat for comfort. Though it can be painful and not be truly seen by others, continue working towards your goals and find a way to be of service. Remember that you are never out of options. Any obstacle can be an opportunity to change. That's what I said in my earlier video. For every, for every challenge, there's a freaking, whatever, moving on. Pivot, adapt, and prosper. On page 17. Shut the fuck up. I swear. Let's move on to the crab. Crab patty. Defend, protect, attack, hide, sensitivity, loyalty. Ooh. And this is going to be on page 44. The thick exoskeleton and formidable pincers of the crab makes a symbol of defensiveness and bad temper. A crabby person is one who is moody and easily annoyed. Dude, that was me like earlier. Did you see that? It was a great video. I told you, watch out for that fucking Queen of Swords, bro. Hold on to it. However, the appearance of the crab belies its tender interior. People born under the zodiac sign of Cancer are described as sentimental, sensitive, and emotional. The astrological constellation Cancer was named for Carcinos, a giant crab that came to the aid of the Hydra in its battle with Hercules and Lerna. See, we're learning more. Hercules. Oh, that's not helpful. The crab fought bravely in the effort to aid his fellow sea beast. I just stopped there when I saw Hercules again. Not right now. I don't want to go into past life bullshit. He scuttled and pinched the hero and did his best to defend the Hydra from attack. Hercules won the battle and crushed the crab beneath his foot. But as a reward for its service, the goddess Hera placed the crab among the stars as the constellation Cancer. In a reading, crabs are comfortable on the shore as well as in water. In this way, they are emblematic of creative and emotional people who are in touch with both the material world and the spiritual realm. Sensitive people often develop a gruff and antisocial exterior in order to protect themselves from sharp realities of the material world. The crab speaks to us when we must face the world, and is a good tutor for those who have difficulties in social situations. The crab reminds us that it's okay to wear our armor and that protecting ourselves can be prudent. While generosity and openness are wonderful traits, they should be balanced with caution. When called to stand up for ourselves or others, the spirit of the crab grants strength and protection. The crab reminds us not to hide from the world or become exclusively isolated. Sometimes we have to be guarded in order to protect our spiritual, emotional, and creative selves. However, that guardedness can also keep us from making important connections and forming bonds. They're pushing us out again. Damn it, Beavis. Well, that's what they were trying to get to. And I noticed it with the fact that I was able to, not be so rigid with Morgan and salvage my bond with her. She made a mistake, and it's not to say she won't repeat that mistake, but that mistake didn't, I can't hold people to the fire every time. I realized that. That's what I had to realize. I realized really hard. Kobe came in. It didn't really have much to do with her, but it was all of them. Now all of your relationships are being brought to the surface here. And he said this. He said, can we talk about why you give up on why you quit relationships? And it's not worth the fight. But it's not that. It's like, when are you going to ever fight for any relationship? You give up on all relationships. It's not one person is more important than the other. It's that I need to make this more important. The crab reminds us that friendship, community, and fighting for the things we believe in are important parts of our life that require us to open ourselves to the world. And that's what I told her too. And you know what I mean? It's like, she knows, and she knows that I was coming from a good place, and she knows, and again, I hope that God gives her the strength to overcome it. You know, we can say that, cut it up to, you know, maybe it was a Mercury retrograde thing, maybe it's not, but again, I could spend weeks with this girl and she's not doing it. So, you know, it's like that. It's like, you know, every time they kind of slip and fall, you're going to just run away and not be, you know, I just don't want to get hurt on your way back up. Let down your guard and come out of your shell. There's plenty of kindness, beauty, and joy of the world if you're willing to engage with it. And that's that perception. They're trying to get me out of that perception that everybody's just here to challenge me. In dealings with others, the crab urges us to be kind and not snappy with others. If you can tell you're excessively moody, short-tempered, or critical, retreat from the water for a while to recharge. That's exactly what they told us in our cards earlier. Stay away from people. Stay away from the drama. Just keep to yourself. Keep your mouth closed. They said it directly in all my cards. Watch yourself. Don't be snapping off. I told you that yesterday. It's the pop-off. Don't do this. The crab may also remind you not to judge on a and to give space and time for those who need it. The sensitive people in your life may take time to open up and drop their defenses. Don't push or you'll risk scaring them off. Hey, I do that to Bobby like all the time, bro. And pretty much everyone. It's like I push you until you run away. That doesn't say anything about me. It just says you. Because realistically, I gotta be honest, I'm a pushy broad. Stop running from the conversations. Let's just have it and move on to a next uncomfortable conversation. I mean, you know, they tell you to take it easy and not. I can't. So then every time I do become pushy, I gotta feel bad. Why can't you just accept I'm pushy?
Why do you gotta be so pushy?
That's it. I don't have to be so pushy, but to understand that I push. I'm just quiet with that. It's like it's a shadow. It's not a shadow. A side of me that you don't like, but why don't you like it? Because it calls for you to fucking stand up. It's like, don't push him. He's going to run away. Is that my problem? He's always going to run away until he stops running away. It doesn't matter what I do or say. He's just going to run away. Can I accept that? I mean, if I can't, then what the fuck are my twin flames doing with me? She's a runner. She's a track star. I get it, bro. You're such a fucking projection of myself. It's only after I heal myself that I can have compassion for your bullshit. Be like, hey, it wasn't me. It was you. It was God. And then there's the blame game. Don't push or you risk scaring them off. I'm scary, bro. You're just scared. I told you what it takes. You just got to be brave. Just stick it out. And you know what I mean? Breathe. It'll be okay. Oh my God, she's pissed off. So? And it'll go away. She's crying. Oh God. She's having a period. Oh God. This too shall pass. Chill, bro. Fucking quit running away. Fucking. Shut up. Shut up, Russ. Shut up, Russ. Shut up, Russ.
Shut up, CJ.
Oh God.
Shut up, CJ.
That's all I hear right now is, stick by my side. Well, do the work and if somebody would. You're not working on you. You're working on your next fucking album so that you can be like, you know, get your next tattoo and your next fucking t-shirt, your next fucking chain to represent who? You. You're such a goofy guy. You and Gumby over there. I waited the whole season to bring that joke back. I waited till you were off tour to bring that joke back. Hey, you guys seen his little fucking Gumby emblem that he tattooed on himself? It's so much better when it's written in stone. He put fucking diamonds on that bitch, bro. Diamonds is this bitch's best friend. Russ, I love you, bro. I know I clown you all the time. Just look at me as Marshall, bro. Would you say something to Marshall? You'd probably get tired of him burning you all the time. But you'd like to just be in his presence, even if he was making fun of you. Just chop it up to that, dude. You're dealing with Marshall in a female form. She's never going to stop burning you. I mean, stop being a dork, and I won't be talking about your dork-ass ways.
Let him be himself.
He's not being himself. He's being his mommy's boy.
Maybe he's just a mama's boy. Mama's boy.
She accepts you the way she... That's why she's going to fight for your rights, bro. She don't give a shit. She will pick a fight with me about anything. You want someone to stand up for you against me? Go talk to her. I'll go talk some shit to my mom. Meanwhile, the rest of you... I'm just saying... You'll push people away. And then what? You're going to feel bad about it? You're going to feel bad about your behaviors. Did you mean to push them away? Were you being mean? I'd be saying meanest things. I don't know if I'm more mean than Marshall. I mean, there's more counts of it. Like, he's on tape doing it more. He has more confessions of it. I don't think he says anything. He has to limit what he says on the radios. I don't limit what I say in the DMs. Do you know what I called Allie? Jesus Christ. He alone. I've talked about every member of his family. I posted a picture of his wife like 3 weeks ago.
Why are you making fun of his wife?
It says be careful. Be careful not to hurt their feelings. Now we're talking about a whole fucking water sign that's very sensitive. And I'm just shooting flaming darts into the fucking pools of nothing. Like, I'm sorry. And you're trying to what? Hose down the fire? Bro, somebody call 911. There's like, you're like a mold. You're like a little bitty fire. I'm like a smoldering. You can't put this fire out, bro. Anyways, I just want to say that. They want you to, like, tiptoe through the garden and don't act a fool. I'm seeing you, Kanye. I did not know it was you, Kanye, that I shared in my last short. I was like, I was all in your energy today, Kanye. Go figure. So I'll be laughing at yous. I'll be laughing. I like to laugh. It's a personal choice here. Personally, I choose to act a fool. Act more stupidly, right, Guys, I'm like the scariest thing. God says that too. He's like, there's nothing scarier than you. And there's nothing really to fear. It's just your own thoughts of what you think I'm going to do or say. Based on what? Some shit on TV, I suppose. Or maybe it's my videos on your TV that are scaring. That goes back to all of you that spends hours a day with me. Y'all already know. I'm a little, what did he call me? Emotionally mushy.
Just like that bat.
Yeah, that was mushy. Squishy. This is my squishy, and I should call him mine, and he shall be my little squishy. In essence, nah, you guys just, like, make up all this shit in your head. That was, I yelled that at everyone, like, especially Marshall. I'm like, I'm not fucking Kim, bro. She could never be me. I don't know what you guys had going on, but just because she yells as loud as me doesn't mean that I'm her, and she's me. I'm not any of these bitches. Just because you see their dark traits in me doesn't mean nothing. That just means they had some dark goddess in them. You don't understand the dark goddess, and especially a healed one. Heal, boy, heal! I was about to bark. Come on, I'm trying to get to the snake, not the sheep. The flocks and shit. Oh, there's the snail, the slowest moving energy in my life. Who's that guy? I don't know. They're not much of them are moving anywhere. All right, snaky snake. Desire, healing, generation, sexuality, deceit, craftiness, lies, venom. Hey, that's like one of my favorite songs of yours, dude. I say that about all your songs. Forget it. The snake is a complex symbol of both death and regeneration. Who is the serpent that gave you the apple? That would be me. I'm very snaky. Very snaky. Get it? Sneaky, sneaky. All right, you reading the... I heard sneaky, snaky, hanky, panky. Wait a minute. Hold on the sexuality for a second here. Anyways, both death and regeneration, poison and healing. The rod of Asib... This is exactly what they said about last night, and I couldn't pronounce it last night. Asclepius, I guess, which features a snake wedding its way around a staff, is an internal symbol of medicine, and healing snakes are associated with the Celtic deity of healing, Damona and Sorona. Sorona. That's no, but I'm seeing that thing. There's a word for it in science, in medicine. The archangel Raphael, and we're talking about the green ray in your heart and all this great shit. It's a stick, and it has all those. Where's the cards? Don't make me pull this out. He's going to make me pull it out. Pull them out. Pull them out. Okay. Only because I was looking for them yesterday, so I know that they're not hard to get. Why? Because I organized all my shit. But I still can't find those tarot readings. You're making fun of me, Lord. It's like, oh yeah, but where's your tarot cards? I don't know where they are. That's like your father. He's like, where's your sippy cup? I don't know where I left my sippy cup. God treats me like a whole kid, bro. I'm going to find the cards, God, I swear. You better find those new cards. I will. I paid for them. Alright, now I can't find my archangel. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I found them. Sort of. There he is. He's right up. No, that was Azrael. Damn it, Azrael. You're not helping. Oh, God. Please, angels. Not right now. Please. I just want Raphael. You could take the charger, but hold on. Don't pull it. There he is. That thing. See, the thing. The thing. I don't know what it's called. It's in his card, but I still can't pronounce the word. Really? Yeah, I don't know what it's called. And he's number what? 17? Get in my face, Raphael. When you discover what your numbers are, you'll see so easily how they're talking to you all the time. What are your numbers? I don't know. What do they talk to you with all the time? I see them all the time. Okay. Anyways. In mythology, a snake sometimes represents evil, but it is just as often an emblem of regeneration and fertility. Snakes were said to guard sacred healing wells across Europe and are thus heavily associated with water. Monstrous serpents appear in Norse and Celtic mythology, always making their homes known at lakes, rivers, and seas. The trickster god Loki is represented by two snakes circling each other to form an S shape. Really? That's kind of funny. When they said that, I saw Strange Music by, what the fuck your name is? Tech9. I can't pronounce this word. Oh, Jesus. That almost came out real wrong. Nijor. Another famous snake is the gigantic pest that's said to live in the roots of the great world's tree, Yggdrasil, chewing on its roots. I was always the fucking serpent. Why? Because, and that goes back to, the snake is embodied in the earth. It's an embodiment of the ground that you walk. It's very traditional. Moving on. One of humanity's primordial fears, snakes are also a potent symbol of the subconscious, desire, and dark nature. We are both attracted to snakes and repelled by them. Carl Jung wrote much about the symbolism of the serpent in the Red Book. That's so funny. I posted him just yesterday, and he's trying to talk to us, and I have to pull out his book of symbols so that you guys can start understanding the symbols in your mind and what they are in divinity. But the also wise bridge that connects the right and left through lodging needs much needed by our life. What does it say? Oh, he posted that serpent is an adversary and a symbol of enmity, but also a wise bridge that connects the right and left through lodging, much needed by our life. 247. Desire is a powerful force. What was the question?
What is the lake called, man?
Who?
The lake that we went to.
Cherry Creek Reservoir. Desire is a powerful force that can be harnessed to our benefit or detriment. Desire leads us to strive, achieve, and reach out, but it can also be destructive. The more self-aware we are, the more we can use desire's power in positive ways. There's great value in examining the underpinning of our desires. A strong desire for wealth, for example, can stem from an insecurity of childhood poverty. It's a security blanket that you never had. You were told when you were young that things were bad because you didn't have money. That everything bad in your life was that way because of money. So you were brought up to believe, as long as I have money, then nothing is bad. It's where it stems from. I worked 3 years at it. It was really hard. It was one of the hardest stages of breaking the poverty mindset. I didn't grow up poor, but I didn't grow up, I was low income in an uppy neighborhood of Lakewood, Colorado. You know what I mean? So easily not, part of the medium. So I don't have the same exact stories. I wasn't as poverty bound as other people, and I learned real poverty when I moved to California. I learned what the struggle was. I learned how to become resourceful. I learned what real struggle was when I moved to California, and then in Mexico to see how humbled. I remember there was this time, it sticks out to me always. It sounds shameful, but you have to understand poverty, right? My ex-husband is there. It's in the beginning. And I think I'm at my brother's house. We're somewhere. And he bakes him like one of those little pizzas. And he's like, "Where's your pizza cutter?" He's like, "Use a knife." He's like, "You don't have a pizza cutter?" He's like, "No, we never used a pizza cutter." And it was a big deal. It's not. You can go to the dollar store and get one. But there's certain things that you can realize that people just didn't have in their life. Little things. So that's where I believe my Oreo addiction came from. I believe my mom didn't buy us Oreos because they were more expensive. Probably I remember her buying a lot of just, Kroger brand name, spreading the dollar as far as you could. So there was a lot of things we didn't actually have. I remember being a teenager and I stole a pager from a girl because everyone had one and I didn't. I didn't understand the complexity that that thing was going to get me caught and I could never use it. I just wanted what they had. Right? So, we believe that our pain and suffering comes from something simplistic like money. If we would have had money, we wouldn't have had these problems, is what our parents tell us. So then we grow up with this idea that as long as we have money, our children and us will not have those problems. But that's not true. While the pursuit of material wealth is not inherently bad, we must recognize that there is no amount of money that will fix the feeling associated with those early fears and insecurities. God had to teach me that for 2 years. He made sure I didn't have money. He just now put me on a welfare check. Seriously? It didn't even cross my mind. He had me on food stamps. But I had to trust him every day, and it was extremely hard. I would wake up in the mornings crying, screaming, trying to fight my brain, crying every morning. I lived in a hotel where I had to pay it every day. And I didn't know how I was going to pay it any day. I had until 11 o'clock every day to figure it out. So I would wake up at 4 o'clock panicked every morning. But he would find a way every day. Every day. He tried to show me that day after day. So that's where my mind knows now. It was repetition for years that I can trust God without any money in my pocket. I can trust him to get in my car. If he calls me to fucking Montana, I know he will get me there with nothing in my hands because he has gotten me this far with nothing. He would not let me have the security of money. He wanted me to be secure with him, though he would provide me money to meet all our needs. He wouldn't give me the money he wanted me to be secure in him. And it's throughout my video, and it was one of the hardest because I believe all my pride was on my ability to provide. I was a father, not a mother. I wasn't nurturing, I was providing and protecting. So, again, I tell you, my masculine, it hurts my fucking ego to be unemployed, to be not useful, to not be out here creating something for my family, to not be providing for my family, to surrender, to let God be that provider was, oh my God, Becky. And then for some man to think he's ever going to come in, that took a lot to get into the Empress mode where I'm ready for you to take care of me. But I got me until you get here. And if something happens, I got us both. And that's a fight. And that's balancing it. As I'm sitting here holding all my cards like a baby. I really am. I've got like 5 cards and I'm holding them around my belly like a baby. They're the dark ones, I just want to point out. Oh, it's funny. It's really hard. It's a misbelief. Poverty mindset is what keeps everybody desperate and going. They believe if they don't have, all things will fail. God told me to give up my job, which means that he knew I was going to run out of money, which means I couldn't pay the bills and all things were going to fail. That was the beginning of my awakening. He told me to do that in January. I lost my apartment by April. All we had was trash bags in my car. And away we went. And he took care of us every day for 3 fucking years. And he will take care of us the rest of our lives. Not so humbly, but we had to learn to humble ourselves to be grateful. And that's where I said right now, the truth is what's going on with myself, Morgan, all of us. If we don't become grateful for what he's given us, he's not going to give us anything more. If we don't accept the blessing that he has given us, he's not going to bless us with more. We have to be grateful. And that's what I tried to say is we're not homeless anymore. Nobody's breathing down our neck. We have showers. We can do laundry. We have friends. We're safe. There's food. We're not running out every week. When I lived in my car, that was my biggest thing. I'm a very clean freak. Every morning I got to figure out where the fuck are we going to take showers. I finally learned towards the end and we were able to get that all figured out. But every morning I had to think about where are we going to shower? What am I going to do to occupy 24 hours of this day? Where will all 3 meals come from? Will we be safe? Where will, what about our everything? Think about what it takes to run a house. But think about running a life without a house. Not having it all in one place, but having to spread yourself out to adapt. To find ways to provide for yourselves. You know what I mean? We lived out of 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven. We lived out of there. Literally, like the hotel served us breakfast. We took showers at all, Cherry Creek. We didn't spend too much time on this side, but fucking Chatfield, bro, every morning you could have caught me there when I first got here on the west side. So in the morning, before the sun would rise, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, when I got to pee, as soon as I'd go pee, I'd pack up the cars and we'd head over to Chatfield. We'd watch the sunrise there. As soon as they got up and running, we'd take showers there, right? And then from there, we'd either have breakfast there or we'd take off, and then we would start our day. We would go to museums, and we would go to do all this stuff, and we would, we had to occupy our time and shit like that. It was difficult. It was a difficult way of life. And yeah, you can see my life as, damn, that's fucking hell. It's humbling, for sure, but it's nothing I've not been through before. I went through this over 10 years ago, and I made it out so successful, and I had no respect for what had happened, and I forgot it. I forgot what it took to be this person and how strong I was, and I'm doing it much better. I didn't have respect for the situation. I just wanted to get out and be better than the situation. You can hear from my earlier video, I'm no better than these people, bro. That was the wrong mindset. People think they're better because they have money. And that's what it is as long as I've got money in my pocket, I'm doing better than you. It's ego, and it's power and control that's not real. You're not doing better. You're not a better person because you have a bigger pocket. But we're made to believe that we can be better as long as we got something in our pocket. And that's where that hustler mentality comes from. I'm a hustler more than anything. I'm not a drug dealer, but I have. I'm a hustler, and that's what you'll see in all of this. I hustle. I can hustle anything. And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? So I hang out with, a hustler always hangs out with killers and dealers and drug dealers and fucking, all this crazy shit. But a hustler, doesn't just stay in one, we hustle. That's an entrepreneur. We're always, you know what I mean, evolving. So, going back to this, it's not what you have and what you don't have on the outside. It's how you feel about it on the inside, bro. If you feel poor, you feel ugly on the inside, you feel like you ain't got nothing, then you're projecting that to people. You're walking around with your head, you know, down, and you're dragging through life like you don't mean nothing. But if you still have value within your fucking, the blood that runs through your fucking bones, even though you ain't took a shower, and you're still ready with a smile to help somebody in need, you're much better off than the rest of these motherfuckers in their gold and diamonds and silver, because they're not about to smile and help nobody needy. And they haven't showered either. Just saying. Anyways, just wanted you to be aware this is a very big, deep fight. And it comes with, you know what I mean? You're fighting against mass conscious, the material world. You're not going to beat the material world. There's always going to be someone that's going to beat you with their pocket. And that's what I said earlier. It's like, I really, truly believe, as far as monetary value, I believe Lewis is my richest celebrity. And yet, as great as he is, he has no life. He's no, you know what I mean? I try to show you. And Kim, she's like our second richest. She might be more rich than him. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They're just as fucking unhappy. It didn't give them security. It didn't make a happy home. It doesn't make their kids better than ours. Nothing, bro. They say that it's better to cry in a Ferrari than in a Subaru. Bro, we're all crying, staring at the moon, crying about the fact that we're not getting this. She doesn't need the money, but she can't stop because of the mindset that I have to. She's a hustler too. She can't trust God that everything will be okay if she just stops doing what she's doing. She can't trust God to take care of her and her family. That's her job. And she, just like you, Russ, she's got a lot of motherfucking heads to feed. She got a whole bunch of fucking useless brothers and sisters and a mother that can't do shit, that feed off of her and all the attention she draws. All their kids, they're everybody. The whole legacy, the whole keeping up with the Kardashians is keeping up with Kim Kardashian. And Kanye said to give it up. She would have had to give up, you know what I mean, their lifestyles, and she didn't. How many people depend on her to be happy? But is she happy? Are her children happy in this shit? Does she not deserve happiness? Has she not worked her whole life? Is she not everything you guys wanted? Has she not been the most beautiful, perfect woman her whole life? Doesn't she deserve to stop working and being all of that for everybody else? Can't she just be taken care of and loved and provided for and nurtured without all this anymore? She deserves it, but she's gotta fucking make those sacrifices to, you know, walk in it. Show the universe what she really wants. All right, I'm done. I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to get, you know, take that new life that you're giving me. I want that man. I want my family now. I'm tired of, you know, it's not about being tired. They've been tired of this shit. Louis been tired. Marshall's been tired. We're tired. Do you ever just cry and say, I'm tired? I'm so tired. That's what I told you. You can't keep up with you can't keep up with Kim, and all you're gonna do is just be as unhappy as them. They're still out here just single fucking mothers, bunch of baby daddies, you know what I mean, trying to fucking make a mark for themselves and keep the fucking bills paid. You see them as celebrities, but they're still just fucking people trying to keep the bills paid. And they got bigger bills to pay because they can't be seen out in Walmart clothes. Why? There's too many people that will eat them up. Who's going to say shit to us? Not too many will say shit to us, but the whole world will persecute them if they're not perfect. And that's fucking, they know who they are. Don't put yourself in that place. That's not happiness. That's not success. That's purgatory. Of material wealth is not inherently bad. We must recognize that there's no amount of money that will fix our feelings associated with those early fears and insecurities. Doing the work of healing our wounds and becoming aware of how they affect us can help us channel our desires in productive and kind ways that will enrich our lives and make the world a better place. It is always important to understand why we want what we want. I saw Chris during that time. She lost her husband. She had these girls and all of this. The money wasn't going to last. She needed another man to come in and take care of her family, and in doing so, she taught that to her children. The snake can be guided into deep internal work. It may indicate a desire for spiritual education, therapy, or development of greater self-awareness. The snake promises an expansion of personal power, healing, and regeneration to those willing to shed their old skins. We are reminded, I'm seeing Pamela Anderson. Pamela. Please don't bring that goofy ass movie in. Pamela. I love you, Pamela. Pamela Anderson, bro. There was nothing more in this world that men wanted than Pamela Anderson, bro. There was nothing more than that woman. They just wanted that woman, bro. For that woman to come out and show us women that it's okay to walk the red carpet with no makeup. The bravery to show us that it's okay to age. You can't take away what Pamela is and was. That's like Sophia Loren. You can't take it away no matter how old these women get, bro. You cannot take away their beauty. And that's it. The older I get, I could still pull out my pictures and you see it's me. I don't need to, look at me. I've grown. I'm not a baby anymore. I'm not a baby anymore, and that's okay. Look at how beautiful I was in my 20s. Look at me bloom through my 30s. Do you remember in school, those parents used to take pictures? They used to get the school pictures every year, and you could watch yourself grow. Allow yourself to grow and look at the beauty of your growth. When Marshall came out with a beard, everyone's like, the beard's weird. He changed. He changed his, you know what I mean, his appearance. He aged, and it was a beautiful thing, and people weren't ready for him to age, because then they had to accept their own age. We are reminding us that power cannot come from the superficial world. We must go deep into the waters of the subconscious to find the answers we seek. The Cineous snake also is a symbol of sexuality. A decorated pagan philanthropic amulet, and was also tied to the goddess and the mysteries of the feminine. The snakes tell us that the true self-mastery requires a unification of our dual nature. I taught all about this earlier with my King and Queen of Swords. We must embrace masculine and feminine, present and past. We must accept the shadow as well as the light. And that's it. Accept that I'm pushy. But then I'm going to pull you real close right after I push you away. The ebb and tides. Take the good with the, with the bad. And it's not bad. In this negative aspect, the snake warns of encroaching darkness, unexamined desire, and blind ambition. This may come in the form of poisonous people, chaos, or despair. Without the balance of water and light, the venomous snake leads us into dark places. The snake offers us the possibility of connecting with the wisdom of the collective unconscious, I'm getting a download, and the archetypical energies in the world. While the path can lead to great transformation and growth, it's possible for us to lose ourselves in the process. Be wary of the snake, and the power it holds can be difficult to navigate. See, these are intense messages. Already an hour. I got one download and I'm going to leave at this. You can learn a lot. Now, what you don't understand is those animals are spirits, just like you and me. They just aren't in a human form. They're here to experience a different form of Earth. You know what I mean? And that's the shape-shifting. I was, as the Morgan, that was my last incarnation. I was the goddess of shape-shifting. I could shift into any animal. Why? Because I'd already been all the animals. Where was the goddess when she wasn't the goddess? I lived on in all of the animals, and that's why I reconnect with all of the animals. I was the wolf. I was the eagle. I was the raven. I was the whale. I was fucking Nessie. I was the Loch Ness Monster. Truly, truly, promise. I was. You're like, damn, bitch, you're crazy. All right, let's not start with that again. What's crazy is I can't find my shadow cards. But while I was reading that, I said I wanted to read my tarot, the Cosmic Seed. And I got this. This is my first tarot. They teach you in a healing form. I only learned tarot healing. I learned one way, and that's how I applied that way to every one of my tarot cards. I said last night I was guided I could pull from this card, which is there's that snake again, or I could choose of my own free will to do it his way, which is he's trying to teach me something. Had I not done it his way, I wouldn't have seen the magic of the Queen of Cups his way, the Queen of Swords his way, the King of Swords his way, and the Knight of Cups, which were what? All in the fucking sky, which were hitting us. We're looking for answers. What the fuck did this full moon just do to us? It wasn't the moon. It was the planets and the stars outside of the moon. It was the moon was what? Magnifying it. What was it magnifying? What those fucking stars were bringing out. So, as I said this, we're going to pull one card from here. These are my original tarot. Let's pick one. Don't pick the tower. Just kidding. I used to be able to tell because of the ridges. I feel like this one. Oh, fucking A. We picked the best one. What is that? Harmony, marriage, happiness, all of that. Four of Wands, which is still the fire. I'm going to read this and I'm going to let you guys go. Actually, I'll read it real small from this one so you can understand. I didn't have much to go off of when I learned tarot. I went to the Knight of Wands. Why? Because the page came out. I read it a lot. Stability, gathering, harmony. A time to enjoy celebrations and appreciation for your life. Goal attained, supported, secure, a solid foundation. May also refer to a wedding, birthday, or milestone. Reverse possibility. Conflict, a lack of stability or support. Okay, let's stop right here real quick. A lack of stability and support. Where is it coming from? Where are you lacking? Are you lacking stability and support from a person outside of yourself? Yep, I'm hitting you deep. There's no lack of stability and support from God. He supports you, and He's there. Put your faith in the right place. People will fail you. They won't be able to, you know what I mean? They always have this saying is like you see people's true colors when you're most in need. When you're most in need, you're not supposed to turn to people. If you do have people, you're supposed to learn that hard lesson. Who's there for you in a time of need, and not be too afraid to to ask. Ask and so it shall be given. But these are those judgment moments. God put you in a moment you can see the truth. You're going to see that many people are not going to be there if you need them most. That is a hard lesson that all humans must learn. You cannot avoid asking and being told no. God, please don't make me ask him. He knew and I knew they'd say no, but I had to face the truth of that no. That no, you can't ask these people for help. Then you realize you shouldn't have people in your life that you can ask for help, because you realize I would have done this for you if I could have helped you. It's a balancing act. It really is. When he gets you to that place where he tells you to ask someone, you already knew to begin with, but he wants to surprise you. And it's going to surprise the shit out of you that they're not going to help you, or if they do. It's very surprising that when someone comes to your help. But they don't know you need help if you don't ask. God works through people. He talks to their heart and tells them, I've had strangers give me money because God told them to. They didn't even know. You could say it was pity, whatever it was. My own friends and family didn't pity me. They didn't cash at me. Nobody helped me out. Strangers. A man walked past me, asked how I was doing. I said, I'm great. He said, can I give you some money? I needed that money so fucking bad. I was so grateful. And I ran to go tell Ray, Ray, this guy walking by just gave me money. Look, I can buy a pack of cigarettes. I can freaking, I got some money. I'm going to be okay today. Ray had an ugly look on his face. It kept happening. People kept taking care of me. Ray didn't like that. He didn't like to see that somebody was taking care of me. He liked that I didn't, and that I needed Ray's help. But when God started helping me outside of Ray, he showed me it was sour. So when I got in here, I'd been homeless, bro. I'd been sleeping in my car for fucking, he saw me. He had no, you know what I mean? I finally got a place. And I called him to tell him, Ray, they let me in, bro. It took me a while, and he's like, what's it like? I was like, well, there's a lot of Venezuelans. And he starts talking bad about them. And I hung up, and I didn't talk to him again, because I realized he was never a positive person. He just liked that, he just liked the power of being needed. And he liked the company. And at the same time, I needed somebody, and I liked the company. I was all alone. You look at this thing, it's like, it was very, I needed someone when I was on the streets, and this man had been on the streets out there in his RV for 5 years. He knew everything about it. He made it safe. He watched over me and my family with a gun. Seriously. Anything, if he woke up and he didn't see my car, or, you know, because I had 2 cars at the time, he was always checking me. I needed that. But that's where you realize is like, you know, they're not always there. You know what I mean? They're there when you're losing, but when you're winning, they're not happy for you either. So I just want to show you that, like, there's a balance to this. If he brings you to a place of need, he'll fulfill that need, but you got to learn the lesson along with that. And it's a hard lesson. We've all learned that. Try to call somebody and they're, you know what I mean? They're like, what the fuck? I would have helped you. It's hurtful, but it's meant to sever ties that are no longer necessary, because really you shouldn't be able, you know, the people around you, you should be able to turn to, because they'll turn to you, won't they? Will you tell them no when they need you most? Well, you're not a good friend either. Maybe don't be their friend. Don't say you're a friend if that's, don't say call me if you need me when you really don't want to pick up the phone when I need you. I just want you to understand that. And as it says this, God never lacks. He has unbelievable ways of providing your needs. And that's what he showed me. I didn't need money. I just needed God. I thought I needed money. I thought I needed a job to be worth something. Stuff like that. That's not true. You're not worthless. Your worth isn't based on how much you have in the bank, where you live, what car you drive, and what clothes you wear. I saw this cool post, I'll leave on this, in Facebook. It was this dude, it was funny, it's like dude's going viral for having swag at a Walmart. He says, I only shop at Walmart, but I stay fresh. And in the picture, he looked fresh as fuck. I didn't know he was wearing Walmart brand. I didn't look at the brands. He looked fresh. He looked fresh. Remember Kmart? And that's it. It's like you work with what you got. And that's what, people never knew it until I told them the truth. I went to the thrift store every Sunday. That's how I looked fresh. I bought old people's, people's leftover fucking designers and shit. Old fucking styles. And I freshened them up. That's it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. They just thought I was out there, I was a fucking material freak and I was just buying shit. Like, no. I'm cheap and shit. I'll buy them for my kids. I'll buy them straight, I'll buy them new shit. I don't need no shit. Not typically. But when I did, I did. And that's why I was sad about my hats. I bought myself one for my birthday and one for Christmas, because nobody buys me gifts. I bought myself brand new hats. And then when I lost my house, I lost my hats. And that was hurtful for me, because those were gifts to myself and they were brand new and they meant a lot to me. There were some things I would buy for myself, new stuff. Well, I mean, you have to buy new underwear and shit like that. But, like, I didn't always go around buying new shit. And that's what it is. It's like, they thought I was worth more than I was. That's what they thought. Just because I have a bag of weed doesn't mean it's a great bag. It's not a cheap bag. Just because I always have a cigarette doesn't mean it's not the cheapest fucking cigarette in the stores. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean I'm cheap and that I'm worthless. It just means that I don't need the finer things. I just need a few things in my life. Some people think that, my brother was one of those douchebags. He's like, I work hard enough. I deserve the best things. You're very deserving, I suppose. Go on with your bad self. And him and his girlfriend are living in a fucking halfway house, wearing fucking Gucci and fucking, fucking Versace and all this shit, while they're with people that have nothing. Does that make you feel good? That's why I don't do it here. When I put on makeup, it's a big deal. They're like, where are you going? I'm actually going somewhere usually. I don't like to just sit here looking better than everybody, trying to floss on people and shit like that. And really, my clothes are not more expensive. I just make it look better. I make myself look like I'm worth more than I am. Because I am. My worth isn't on the outside. I light up everything, my car, all of it, truthfully. And just know that. You're a prize and joy without all of that. Okay? Hey, I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. We'll see. I guess probably it'll be morning by the time you see this. Unless you're on the other side of the planet. And then I will see you tomorrow night or tomorrow morning. Laters, haters.